Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Inuit, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland, the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 41st Nation in Treaty 3 territory. My name is Carrie Linklater. I'm your chairperson today. I am joined via Zoom Gail Anderson and Faye Branson. Our city assessor today is Ms. Svetlana Shabel, and our recording secretary, Ellen Rojo. To the Zoom participants of the hearing, please note you are placed in the waiting room until your property is called upon. When it is your turn, you will be admitted into the meeting. Kindly follow along on the City of Winnipeg's Board of Division YouTube channel for the hearing process. Once the host admits you into the hearing, please close or mute your YouTube player. You will then be permitted to speak with respect to your property. Once your hearing has concluded, you will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparison of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the board. The board is appointed annually by council and is independent of it and the city administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues the order that will be mailed to the parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application, extension, or recommendation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. And as information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We will be hearing items 1 through 3, 5, 7, and 9 on our docket today. And Ms. Rojo, could you please confirm the assessor and the applicant?
Madam Assessor, please state your full name.
Svetlana Shabel.
And you affirm the evidence you about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Ben Reese.
And you affirm the evidence you about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Ms. Shabel and Mr. Reese.
Good afternoon.
And I understand we have a preliminary issue on our first item.
Correct.
Ms. Shabel, we're asking for a non-co-op on this property, correct?
Correct.
And Mr. Reese, you did not provide us with a brief?
So forgive me, we have two matters to deal with today. So I'm assuming you're referring to the property at 647 Broadway?
Yes, that's the first on the document.
Right, okay, thank you. Yes, so Madam Chair, we'd like to confirm the assessment.
Thank you. We will just actually have the assessor read the property into the
Sure.
roll. Ms. Shabel, whenever you're ready.
File number 22-3524. Roll number 120931200. We have preliminary issue and assessor requests that burden of proof be placed on the applicant for not cooperation. Section 53(3)(b) of the Municipal Assessment Act, and If a reduction in assessment in order, that it follow section 54 3.2 of Municipal Assessment Act.
And thank you. And Mr. Reese, you were asking for a confirmation of this property?
Yeah, we'd like to confirm the assessment at 1.9 million.
Still needs to address the non-cooperation.
Mr. Reese, we are still going to address the non-co-op.
Okay.
Would you have the evidence you had to present on that?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Sorry, I'm just wondering, I know you did not present a brief, but
Correct.
do you have any verbal evidence regarding the non-co-op?
There's nothing more for us to add.
Okay. And Ms. Schabel, did you have any evidence you wish to introduce about the non-co-op?
Yes, please. If you open my brief page, let's see. It started from page 9. We did send letter for income request, second letter in June 9, 2021. We received no any information. If you look on page number 12, it was received on June 11, delivery progress. On page number 13, it was delivered with identification below LP657130110CA, and plus we have another delivery slip on page 14. It's with another tracking number LP657130110CA. It was delivered on June 11, 2021 with signature. Thank you.
Mr. Reese, did you have any questions regarding what the assessor has just stated?
I don't.
Thank you. Ms. Anderson, did you have any questions of the assessor?
I have no questions. Thank you.
And Ms. Branson?
Question, thank you.
I also have no questions. We're just going to take a very short recess. I would like to call the hearing back to order. And we are granting the non-co-op to the city for 647 Broadway. And we will now move on to the next property, 871 Ellis. Ms. Schabel, whenever you are ready.
File number 22-3541. Roll number 130-2254-1000. It's located off 871 Ellis Avenue. We are valuing the property as it stands of January 1st, 2023, based on the economic condition of April 1st, 2021. This appeal is with respect to the amount of the assessed value only. Based on the evidence in this report, in this assessor opinion, that the market value of subject property as of April 1st, 2021 is $442,000, and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. The subject property is medical office located on land area 3,285 square feet, leasable area 2,340 square feet. On page number 2, we see subject sale history. It was sold in October 2020. It's $330,000. The subject property has existing lease size 2020. It's November 2000, October 15, 2020 for 1,250 square feet with a net rent of $19.20. The subject property picture following, it's located northwest of city of Winnipeg. On page 3, more subject property, airport and street view. It's rectangular shape of land, 1-floor building. On page number 4, subject property market income estimation. We did assess leasable area 2,340 square feet at $13.50. Let's look on my rent comparables below. It's we can see comparables on 1,600 Ness Avenue and Pembina, another on Pembina and 4th Street, and we can see that our media $18.81 and mean and media $17.45, and we did apply only $13.50. Let's look on my let's look on specific of my comparables. It started on page 12. First comparables, 1600 Ness Avenue. It's I presented 6 leases. You can see main floor lease from $22 to $27.50. Third floor lease for $14 per square foot. On page 13, we can, it's my another comparables, 1-floor building on 756 Pembina Highway. I presented 2 comparables. With leasable area 1,300, rented $18.80. Another comparables lease. First comparable lease started in 2010 in this building, so it should be upward adjustment for the time. Another comparable, it's medical, started in 2018 for 2,330 square feet and $18 per square foot. It's still 3 years before reference date. It should be upward adjustment. But it's 1-floor building like subject property. Another comparables on page 14. 400 Pembina Highway. Its lease started in 2020 for around 5,000 square feet at $16.90. My comparables on page 15. It's 164 4th Street for around 2,000 square feet, rent at $15.50. But we're going back to my summary page on page number 4. So my 10 comparables of Ness, Pembina, and another on Pembina and 4 shows the mean or average $18.81 and median $17.48. So we did look on my market income calculation. 2,340 square feet, we did assess at overall $13.50. We did apply vacancy loss 5.5%, similar for all medical offices. We account for expenses 3%, same as all medical offices across city. Shortfall $8 per square foot. In our overcapitalization rate 6.15%. So our estimate value of subject property as of April 1st, 2021 is $442,000, and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. Thank you. Any questions?
I thank you. Mr. Reese, did you have any questions of the assessor?
I do, Madam Chair. Thank you. So I'd like to, can the assessor just confirm the zoning of the subject property?
And in our records, zoning residential 2-family.
Thank you. And with respect to the comparables, is that, do they have a similar zoning to the subject property?
All my comparables commercial zoning.
They're all commercial.
Correct.
Thank you. And with respect to 1600 Ness Avenue, that's commonly known as Madison Square, correct?
Correct. All my comparables medical space
Right.
rent.
And Madison Square, to the best of your knowledge, is a shopping center, is it not?
Correct.
Right. And it has a plethora of surface parking, accessible to visitors, etc.
Yes. That's why they rent $22-27 per square foot. We did apply less as $14 per square foot.
And it also has anchoring tenants such as like Safeway and the Liquor Mart, etc. And large format retailers as well on the main floor space.
Yes.
Commercial rental units. Okay, thank you. And concerning 756 Pembina Highway, which is another comparable of yours, that is also, well, it's a strip mall, is it not?
We can open page 13 on my brief. It's one floor building. We have two buildings on this roll number. Yeah, it's neighborhood.
Excuse me, neighborhood.
It's neighborhood shopping mall, shopping center.
Right, commonly known as Lincoln Place, correct?
Possible.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So none of these properties are your comps, with exception to item 9 and item 10, are single user buildings.
Correct.
Thank you.
And in my experience, a single user building usually owner occupied. So in our case, we have to use retail property to confirm how much rent for a similar space. We don't have choice.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Usually a single tenant small building owner occupy.
Yeah, sorry. And so they're single occupied, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I presented NESP, its medical space, to just see how much it's rent for. And Pembina, 756 Pembina.
But all of your comparables are in fact commercially zoned properties ranging from C4 to C3 to C2, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
But zoning, because it's already commercial building and producing property, zoning can be applied and changed because it's facing Ellis Street. It's good visibility.
And in keeping with that statement, the subject property, what predominantly is the subject property surrounded by? What kind of use properties are in the immediate vicinity?
We can look on my page number 3. Let's look on our view and see what's going on here. Let's make it bigger. It's located between Dark Boulevard and the Bolmore Avenue and facing a moment. It looks like it's not Ellis. I posted wrong address.
Maybe I should rephrase my question.
I did wrong.
That's okay. Maybe I'll just rephrase my question if I can, Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Would you not agree that the subject property is surrounded by residential, primarily single-family dwellings?
Correct. If you look on same page on bottom, street view, we can see residential around, and medical building. It's usually for same residential use.
Right, but if we were to do like a 360 point of view, you would agree that the subject property is predominantly situated in a residential area.
Yes, but it's facing Ellis Avenue. It can be zoning could be changed, but right now residential single unity.
And are any of,
Residential two-family building, yes,
thank
right
you,
now.
thank you. And are any of your comparables situated in a residential area, so to speak, surrounded by single-family dwellings?
No answer.
Can you repeat that?
No answer.
No answer. So I guess you concur.
I didn't have similar comparables. Usually it's a commercial zoning.
Okay, thank you. Those are all my questions.
Thank you. Ms. Anderson, did you have any questions for the assessor?
You're on mute, Gail.
Oh, thank you. Sorry about that. With regards to the assessment, was it model generated?
Yes, everything model generated.
Okay, and when was the last inspection of this property?
I will look into. I'm looking in my records. I don't see any inspection. All update of this property happened by using planning and property planning department permits, and our changes rely on their inspection because we share our archive data.
Okay, so the sale that was in 2020, is that an open market sale?
Yes, it's yes, open market sale. Sale is
Willing buyer.
arranged transaction between two unrelated parties. It was
Okay.
verified through company search.
Okay, so are there any building permits on file since that sale?
After sale, 1 second. I will check.
Or close to the date of the sale?
And my records. 1 second, be with me. Nice to be by computer. With all data available. 1 second, I will find this property. Permits. I can see 2 permits in 2014. One permits building permits, face replacement, replace face. Another permits in 2021 building permits erection. First permits only value at $550. Another permit $6,000.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions.
What I see here.
Branson, did you have questions to the assessor?
Yes, I believe that your note NOI included basement lease information. Are you? But it looks like the mailer doesn't indicate that the basement was leased. Do you have any other information on what's happening with the basement?
This building, it's one floor building, has existing basement. If you can see on my page number 1, we have basement 1,900 square feet, 19 square feet. Usually basement, we can have laundry room, mechanical room, some storage area, archive area, storage archive area. So it's part of building, it's exists, and we have to assess basement as well. If basement not exist, all this mechanical room will be on main floor and take leasable area space.
Okay, no further questions. Thank you.
Ms. Schabel, I just have a couple of questions. Do you know, prior to the sale, that occurred in October of 20, was this a dental practice?
Previous, 1 second, I will check. Yeah. I can see that it was a sale by Bernard Majewski to private company.
Okay, so you can't confirm if it was a dental practice prior?
I will go to another available. I will go to PPND information, 1 second, and we'll see. Gives me my system. Data here. Information. Search. It's all permits. I see more permits as 2003. Electrical plumbing change. It was more electrical and plumbing change in 2019. And I can see permit installation. My permit shows that it's from 2003. It was a commercial building. It was not private office, not a residential building. Size 2003, it's commercial building.
Okay, but it doesn't say anything about it being a dental office previously?
No.
Okay, I thank you.
But when purchase happen, usually to transfer just office space to medical, it's what happen. Electrical plumbing should be changed. That's why a lease for medical office are more higher than for normal office space.
So on page 4 of your brief, it's stated here, high quality finish. Can you speak to that statement?
High quality finish because it's not office, it's a medical office.
Okay, so is that something that this is model driven, correct?
It's model driven, yes, correct.
So does the
in our case, we can see we have 2 permits, 1 permits for main floor, second permits for basement, and main floor model driven $15.16.
Okay,
and
so
if
my question is, does the model put that description in automatically, high quality finish?
No, it's our record.
Okay, so did you put that into the brief then, high quality finish?
It's already exists in our record. It's just model driven, income expense, market income. I didn't change anything. Okay. I just try to support model driven information.
Yes, all right. But you yourself did not inspect the property, correct?
No, I haven't inspected property, but I'm able to completely accurately describe based on data we have on file what I did a few minutes ago.
Yes. And are any of the comparables you used dental offices?
All my comparables medical or dental offices.
Okay, thank you. That is all my questions. Mr. Reese, if you would like to proceed with your Reed?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. So we filed a few exhibits, and starting with Exhibit A is in fact the financial worksheet or the income and expense worksheet. And as you can see, we're applying a rental rate of $19.20 applied to an area of 1,250 square feet, which so happens to represent the main floor, the entire main floor space, resulting in an annual rent of $24,000. We did not apply any value, rental value, to the basement space due to the fact that it consists of primarily mechanical equipment as well as some storage. And again, I should add that the $19.20 per square foot applied to the main floor space is actually a high value. We consider it a premium value because it takes into consideration that it is a single user building and that we are allowing a little bit of an allowance for the fact that the lower level is being used for some minimal storage. And as a consequence, we just apply the vacancy allowance of 5.5% in keeping with the city, resulting in an effective market income of $22,680. We then apply the various expenses. I don't think I need to see it because I guess you all have the benefit of seeing the spreadsheet. So as we proceed down, you can see that it results in a net operating income of $20,542. And I should take this opportunity to mention that there was a slight rounding error. The sheet shows a cap rate of 6.8%, but in fact, it was actually 6.75%, which applies to the NOI, resulting in a number of $304,332, or rounded to $304,000. Now, we also took into serious consideration the actual sale that occurred in October 2020. And I would like to add that this was in fact an arm's length sale. And in fact, it was previously a dental clinic. So it was a sale of a dental clinic to another dental practitioner. And so we've taken that value of $330,000 and have made an adjustment of negative 8% to result in a number of $303,600. So you can see the sale, we believe, is the real ultimate number that we should rely on since it's so close, relatively close to the reference date. And that's with respect to Exhibit A. Exhibit B just reinforces the fact that there was a registered sale for $330,000 back in October of 2020. Exhibit C is in fact a Q1 2021 cap rate survey undertaken by Cushman Wakefield. And I believe you see that we've highlighted under the column of Winnipeg, under the section suburban office B, a cap rate range of 6.75 up to 7.75. And so we actually took the lower of the two values. Exhibit D is once again just the income and expense questionnaire that the landlord or I should say its representative filled out, confirming the rental rate of $24,000 per annum, or alternatively $2,000 a month. And that is all.
And I thank you. Ms. Shable, did you have questions of the applicant?
Yes, please. You would agree that a sale of subject property best represent of market value?
Yes, particularly in the absence of of any sales data relative to subject property.
And this sale for 330,000 happened 1 year before a reference date. So you would agree that this market value of subject property up April 1st, 2021 should be a little bit higher, not less than existing sale, correct?
No, in fact, when speaking with people in both the commercial brokerage community as well as lending community, there has been a decline in sales relative to single user buildings, and that's why we applied a factor of -8%.
Your exhibit photo showed that a basement it's usable, it has a storage area, correct?
Yes, and I apologize.
And you don't put any value of this area in your estimation of potential income, correct?
I don't, and Madam Chair, forgive me, I for some inexplicable reason forgot to reference the exhibits E. Madam Chair?
Yep, I'm just looking.
Would you permit me to comment on Exhibit E and the photos relative to the assessor's most recent question?
Of course, go ahead.
Okay, so Exhibit E are actually photographs of the basement area, and you can appreciate that all of the photos, which pretty well represent the entire basement, consists of mechanical equipment, a laundry machine, a laundry dryer, storage shelving, etc. So this, and as well, like I said, mechanical, plumbing, etc. So this is why we applied a higher rate of $19.20 per square foot to the main floor, appreciating that there is some benefit of some storage in the lower level, but in truth, it's really not leasable space. And so again, it's predominantly used for mechanical, systems, plumbing, etc., and some storage. That's all.
Shayla, would you like to continue?
No, thank you. No questions.
All right, thank you. Ms. Branson, any questions to the?
I don't have any questions. Sorry, Madam Chair. No, I don't have any questions this time.
Thank you. Ms. Anderson?
I have no questions as well. Thank you for your presentation.
Mr. Reese, did you happen to inspect the property?
I did not.
Okay, and so those are not your photos?
Those are not my photos.
Okay.
But they did come directly from the dental practitioner.
Right, okay. Do you have any, because this is a 1939 building, correct?
That's my understanding. Yes, it was built in 1939.
Okay. So do you have any information in regards to the mechanicals on the building?
I don't have any particulars, no.
All right, thank you. That is all my questions.
Madam Chair,
Yes?
with apologies, may I ask a question too?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, just in regards to expenses, I note that in the information that you provide, there's a 2% for other and a 5% for management, as compared to the 3% that the assessment city has indicated, and so that equates to $2,138. Could you provide some background to that?
Well, yes, I will. So there's 3 items, starting first with the shortfall of $8 per square foot, which is in keeping with the assessment department's number. The management of 5% is that buildings don't manage themselves. There is a requirement for people, even single user buildings, to manage expenses, etc. And so 5% is in fact in keeping with market rates. And finally, 2% is associated with things such as structural repairs or anything of that nature, which is typically seen in most appraisals relative to commercial properties.
Okay, thank you. Those are all my questions.
Thank you. Do either of you, Ms. Shable or Mr. Reese, have a wish for a summation on this property?
No, thank you.
Madam Chair, thank you for the opportunity. We would just, again, like to suggest that the market value as of April 1st, 2021 be $304,000. That's all.
I'll move on to our next property on the docket. Item number 3, Westbrook Street.
Okay.
Madam, they are not presenting together.
Well, I'm just going to ask Mr. Smith, which properties are you presenting for?
So I have 0 Westbrook, 0 Pioneer, and 41 Westbrook. So numbers 3, 5, and 7, I guess it is.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. Ms. Schlegel, whenever you are ready, we are now looking at 0 Westbrook Street.
File number 22-3315, roll number 13060805000. We are valuing the property as it stands of January 1st, 2023, based on economic condition April 1st, 2021. This appeal is with respect to the amount of the assessed value only. Based on evidence in this report, in this assessor opinion that the market value of subject property as of April 1st, 2021 is $864,000 and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. The subject property in surface parking with land area of 10,124 square feet. Air photo picture on page number 2. More photo on page number 3. It's irregular shape of land. We can see that a parking lot doesn't, if estimate a market income of parking lot, it gives us only 540,000, doesn't capture land price. So we're going on page number 6. I will look in subject property and land valuation summary. Subject property has multiple use, zoning, assessed lot 10,124 square feet, rain line close to the subject property. It's assessed and total assessment per lot per size, $85.34 per square foot. I have presented 6 land sales below. It's first 242 Hargrave, Carlton, 44 Hargrave, Pioneer, Bannatyne, and another on Bannatyne. Let's look specific of my land sale picture. We're going to page number 18. First piece of land, more than 70,000 square feet, sale in 2016 for $96.98. So my comparables not far away from subject property. It's in downtown. Another comparables on page 18. It's Carlton Street, sale in 2016. Area only 6,000 square feet at $100.03. Another land sale on page 19 on 44 Hargrave Street. It's just slightly over 6,000 square feet at $142.28. Another comparable on Pioneer Avenue, sale in 2019 for around 28,000 square feet. It's $136.64. My sale comparables on page 20. 127 Bannatyne Avenue, sale in 2019, over 12,000 square feet at $94.96. Another sale on 170 Bannatyne in 2019 for 11,000 square feet at $95.50. Let's go back to my summary sheet on page number 6. So I have Hargrave, Carlton, Hargrave, Pioneer, Bannatyne, and they sell between $94 per square foot for $142.28, and we assess property only $85.34 per square foot. It's fair. Let's go on page number 7. Look for zoning multiple use section intended to encourage the range of uses, size, activities, and buildings type to address diverse and viable central business district. The build form is also diverse, ranging from high-rise towers and Portage, Maine, to more intimately scale building along Graham Avenue. Urban design review is intended to enhance pedestrian comfort and encourage high-quality building form. On subject property, you can see with numbers on middle of the picture. On page number 8, I have presented a pair or repeat sale analysis. I try to find property close to subject property area. It's just over 10,000 square feet. I presented eight pair sale analysis, and you can see them from 17,000 square feet to 2,500 square feet. Everyone commercial zoning. Let's look on my resale number 1, 775 Henderson Highway. Its first sale was in 2016, another sale in 2018. So percentage price difference, 44.62% between two sales. Its number of months between sale is 25 months. So percentage change per month, 1.78%. So each month, size 2016 through 2018, sale increase from price from 1.78%. Let's look another resale of 921 St. Mary Road. It's 4,016 square feet. Its first sale in 2016 and $36.95. Another sale in 2017 and $16.34. So percentage price difference 63.33%. Months between 20 months, so percentage change per month 3.17%. If you analyze all my fall 8 resale, so SERPA analysis showed that percentage change per month average 1.85% per month higher, and or media change per month 1.59%. So price of land increase every month for 1.59%. On page, one second, I'm lost. Around. So based on evidence in this report, it is assessor opinion that the market value of subject property $864,000 and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please proceed with any questions.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. I do have a few questions. So the subject property is a surface parking lot, so it would be and is indeed an income producing property, correct?
Correct.
And the income and expense form for that is included in the addenda of your report? That's correct, I gather.
Yes, correct, yeah.
And then just to, I guess, situate ourselves with the property, looking at your page number 2 and then page number 3. So the subject property, as indicated on those pages, it's that kind of wedge-shaped parking lot that abuts the CPR main train line there. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And we're looking at a total of 22 parking stalls.
And we're looking on area of 10,124 square feet.
Right. Okay. And the subject property, the ownership of the property is it is owned by the CN Railway Company and leased out to the appellant. Is that correct?
If you look on my page 1, assessor information, yes, owner Canada National Railway Company, correct.
Okay. All right. So when I look at your page number 5, we have the income value summary done for the property, and it produces the estimated market value of $540,000. Typically, surface parking lots are valued based on the income approach to value, correct? As is this one on page 5?
And subject property market income als parking lot, it's not capture land price. That's why model default to land price. And I showed you 6 comparable land sale comparables to defend land price of $864,085.34 per lot size assessment.
Okay, so let's skip forward then to, I guess it's your page number 18 with regard to the land sale comparables. So these are the same ones that are shown on, is it page 6?
Yes, summary page on page 6.
Okay, so just in reviewing these, so comparables number 1 and 2, 242 Hargrave Street, and then the Carlton Street roll number as shown on page 18. These both of these properties were sold as part of the development of the True North Square development. Is that correct?
Yes, a sale was happened in 2016. Hargrave, it's 17,000 square feet, much higher than subject property 7 times, and sell for $96.98. In Orcaltar, it's only 6,000 square feet, sale and $100 per square foot. It's in 2016. It should be upward adjustment for time because our reference date 2021. And when you look on my parcel analysis on page number 8, it should be at least 1.59% per month.
Okay,
and we assessed property only less as $86 per square foot. It's fair.
Okay, so let's get back to page 18 then, and the 2 comparables there. So that is, again, the True North Square development. So that has subsequently been developed into office tower, residential tower with retail component and an associated hotel, correct?
When we look on my page number 6, subject property neighborhood 171, Portridge in May, same comparables number 4 on Pioneer Avenue. It's same area. It sell in 2019 for around 28,000 square feet and at $136 per square foot. And my comparable number 5 and Cent, very close. It's 170 Exchange District. It's a little bit different neighborhood, but close to the subject property.
So
all my 6 comparables.
I'm going to ask, if I could. With respect, I am going to ask questions on each of the land sale comparables, as that appears to be what valuation is being relied on. So,
correct.
What I'm comparing is the location of comparables number 1 and 2 to the subject property. So we're looking at property that's been developed into the most modern, largest downtown development in Winnipeg. It's across from the MTS Center, which I guess is now Canada Life Center, and adjacent to City Place. Would this in any way be comparable to the sliver of land that we're looking at here today?
What comparables you're talking about, number?
Comparables number 1 and 2.
1 and 2. 1 second. These comparables, one comparables very high, 17,000 square feet, another 6,000 square feet. It was sold in 2016. And they sell $96 and $100 per square foot. Yes, it's a different location, just a little bit further from the subject property. But you forget that we have to upward adjustment for 5 extra years. So it's this number sale per square price per square foot will be much higher, and we assess less as $85 per square foot. It's fair.
Okay, moving on then to page number 19 and comparable number 3. So this is 44 Hargrave Street. This is located between Assiniboine and Broadway on the west side of Hargrave, correct?
Correct.
And that property has subsequently been developed into a multifamily apartment tower. Is that correct?
Possible.
Okay, I represent the owner, so just to confirm that is the case.
If you look on page 19, it's for a rectangle shape of land, only 6,000 square feet, and was sold in 2017 for $142 per square foot. It should be 4 years upward adjustment for time adjustment, and we assess less as $85 per square foot. It's fair.
Okay, Moving on then to comparable number 4 on page number 19. So this is the Pioneer Avenue comparable. So as we look at your map here, it is roughly half a block off of Main Street. This parking, surface parking lot, this forms the main parking for the adjacent 191 Pioneer and 333 Main office towers. Is that correct?
Correct. It's in 3 times bigger square footage of land area. It's in same neighborhood, 171 Portridge in Main. And sale was in 2019 at $137 per square foot.
Okay.
We still have 2 years upward adjustment, and we assess less as 85. It's correct.
Okay.
It's fair.
Moving on to page number 20 then. Comparable number 5, 127 Bannatyne. So this is actually immediately behind the office building that I have my office in. Can you confirm that this is currently being developed as a 7 to 8 story office tower?
You can see sale was in 2019. It's close to subject property size and was sale for $95 per square foot. We still $10 less. It's fair.
Okay, and is that particular property surrounded by other office developments?
Yeah, if you look on page number 20 and purple shape of area between Bannatyne and John Hirsch, it's 170 Exchange District neighborhood.
Okay, thank you. And then number 6, which I believe is the last one, 170 Bannatyne on your page 20 again. This is again a half block off of Main Street, and that particular parking lot, I believe, is the surface parking lot for the 433 Main Tower, which is located immediately to the west of it, which has been converted to apartments. Is that correct?
Correct. If you look on my page number 20, it's a irregular shape of lot, 11,000 square feet, close to the subject property, and sale was in 2019 for $95.50. We still have 2 years upward adjustment for time, and we still $10 less.
Okay, and looking at the paired sales analysis, so I believe that's your page 8. So when I reviewed the properties that are here, none of these properties are surface parking lots in the downtown, correct?
No, it's I was looking for commercial properties, sale close to reference day, a second sale, that's why it's 2018, 17, 19. So see how market increase, land increase over the time, over the months. And also I try to look for square footage, that's why I have 17,000, 34,000 square feet to 2,500 square feet to see how market behave. It showed 1.59% per month increase prior to effective years for our estimation.
Okay, and the zoning for each of these properties is C2, which is different than the zoning for the subject property, correct?
Correct.
Okay, those are all of my questions. Thank you.
Mrs. Anderson, did you have any questions of the assessor? Oh, you're muted.
Just in regards to the zoning of the property, what is the property zoned as?
On page number 7, it's M, multiple use sector.
Okay, so can you explain the difference between that use and C2?
That's why I posted intend to encourage the range of uses, sites, activities, and building type to a diverse and vibrant Central Business District. The built form is also diverse, ranging from high-rise tower and portrait main to more intimately scaled building along Graham Avenue. Urban design review is intended to enhance pedestrian comfort and encourage high-quality building form. It's what about zoning?
Thank you. Those are all my questions.
Ms. Branson, did you have questions?
No questions. Thank you, Madam Chair.
I too have no questions. Mr. Smith, I would like to proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So we're dealing today with the surface parking lot at the address 0 Westbrook Street. If you flip to what's labeled as my page number 1, you can see the border of the subject property as indicated there. I'm going to actually direct you to pages 2 and 3 of the City of Winnipeg's brief as well, just for further information. We probably should have included a larger map of the location of the subject property as well, but these will suit our purposes. So if you look at those aerials on the city's page 2 and 3, you can see the location of the subject property and the orientation of it. So it immediately abuts the CN Railway. This is the main CN rail line that runs through Winnipeg. It's where all of their trains go past on a regular basis. The sound and vibration is very significant. The orientation of the property is, well, not the orientation, I guess the layout, boundary of it is also not of a developable nature. It's not rectangular, it's not square, it's wedge-shaped and extremely narrow at one end. It's essentially not a developable site in terms of putting a property on there. Now, even if it were a developable site, if it still abutted the CPR railway like that, the value, it would be unlikely that you would find a developer that would be looking to put up a property on a 10,000 square foot parcel abutting the CPR land. And then further, if you look at the access to the property, so your access is via Mill Street, which takes you into other parking areas for the baseball diamond. As you can see, the access to it is very convoluted. So it's not a developable parcel, whatever the zoning says. The zoning being M, multiple use for downtown, there would simply be no market demand for development of this parcel in the location that it sits on. It's a surface parking lot. That's all it's going to be. Beyond that, the appellant is the lessee of the property. CN Railway Company owns the property and they lease it out to the appellant for their use as parking for the adjacent ball diamond. So the the appellant does not control the property. They have a limited parcel of rights as the lessee. They don't have the ability to sell this property in any fashion on the open market. At the end of their term of the lease, once it expires, they either have to renegotiate or the property then, of course, reverts to the use of the CN Railway Company at that time. So both, it's not a developable parcel in any standard way, and the property cannot be sold by the appellant for any additional value. So what we're looking at is surface parking lot. And to that end, if you look at both my valuation and the city's valuation on page 5, we have 22 stalls for the parking lot, and we have applied the same model rent. We're using the same model that the city of Winnipeg does in valuing surface parking lots. We've applied the same model rent of $92 per stall times 12 for months. And we've applied the same capitalization rate as the city of Winnipeg. This is shown on my page 9 when you get to it. So we're using the exact same model that the city is in developing our market value. Our final market value is $540,000. If you flip back, I'll give you the basis for this valuation, and it's shown on my page 2 onwards. So this is the City of Winnipeg valuation of income producing properties document for the 2023 general assessment. Page 3 just gives you the office, retail, market regions, and then you flip to my page 4 and page 5, it gets into the parking. So middle of page 4, it outlines the modeling for parking lots, stating net monthly incomes per stall for surface parking lots and parking structures are shown in the table below. These income rates are net of vacancy loss and operating expenses, and then it breaks it down by area and type of lot and location, etc. As you can see, the subject property would have $92 per stall applied to it. The actual breakdown of the parking areas is shown on page 5. So the subject property, as you can see, would fall into that Forks area, I believe it is. My copy is a little fuzzy here. So using the exact model that the city of Winnipeg does in valuing these properties, the final market value, as shown on my page 9 and the city's page 5, should be $540,000. Now, further than that, if you look at the income and expense report for the subject property as shown on my page 6, the net income for the subject property is shown as $5,971. So if you compare that to my page number 9, we have a projected revenue of $24,288 for the subject property. If we want to look at occupancy, flipping back to page number 6, there are a total of 22 stalls for the subjects. They are indicating, and this is somewhat misleading, a $200 per month rate. There's exceptionally few stalls that are rented out on a monthly basis. If you take that 22 stalls times 200 per month at 100% occupancy, you end up at $52,800 in gross rental income. The actual reported income, as shown on page 6, is $30,848 on a gross basis. That's 58% of what the property would be at full occupancy over the entire year. Now, if we look at finally restrictions on the parking lot, there are also restrictions with regard to the lease out of the space being intended specifically for game day use for the baseball stadium rather than surface parking lot on an ongoing basis. So there's a lot of factors here that come into play with regard to the valuation. It's really not a developable site. There would be no demand for it given its location. It's not owned by the appellant. They're simply the lessee. And the income that can be generated on the property is significantly lower than what we are projecting in our valuation for it. So I believe that a market value of $540,000, as indicated in our brief, is a very fair market value for the subject property. And I'm open for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Shable, if you'd like to ask questions of the applicant.
No questions.
Thank you. And Ms. Anderson
I have no questions. Thank you.
and Ms. Branson.
No questions. Thank you, Madam Chair.
A couple, Mr. Smith.
Yes.
You probably, I'm going to assume you don't know the answer to this, but would you have an approximation of how many trains per day are on that main line?
I'm afraid I do not, but I do know that it's their main rail corridor through the city.
Is this managed by Impact?
No, it is not. It's if we look at the income and expense, I believe it's reported directly by the Gold Eyes themselves.
Okay. So, in regards to the parking, you said something about game day. The public is parking there.
So I unfortunately wasn't able to confirm prior to the hearing time here what the restrictions are, but it was indicated to me by my colleague that there are restrictions on parking for this particular site that are related to game day use only or things of that nature. But I'm afraid I don't have the background, so I don't want to speculate further.
That's fine. Thank you. That's all my questions. Do Ms. Shable and Mr. Smith, do either of you have a wish for a summation on this property?
No, thank you.
I'm fine, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think at this time we'll just take a quick 5-minute break, so recess. And I would like to call this meeting back to order. And we will be moving on to number 5 on our docket, 0 Pioneer Avenue. And whenever you are ready, Ms. Shable.
File number 22-3312, roll number 12091996100. We are valuing the property as a stance of January 1st, 2023, based on the economic condition April 1st, 2021. This appeal is with respect to the amount of the assessed value only. Based on the evidence in this report, it is assessor opinion that the market value of subject property as of April 1st, 2021, $320,000, and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. The subject property surface parking of 3,747 square feet. The site, it's a regular shape, a picture on page number 2, regular shape of site. More photo on page 3 and 4. Location on page number 4. You can see it's along Craiway as well, not far from baseball center. The subject property income approach on page 5 and 6 doesn't support land value. We're going straight to page 7 with subject property valuation summary. We have property assessed lot size 3,747 square feet, located in zoning character. It's has land influence bus road, medium traffic, rain line, and our total assessment per lot size $85.40 per square foot. I have same set of comparables, sex on Hargrave, Carlton, Hargrave, Pioneer, Bannatyne. So the range sale price per square foot range between $94.96 to $142.28. And we assess only $85.40 per square foot. On page number 8, I showed zoning. Let's look for zoning C character section. You can see number of subject property on the map. It's intent to encourage a compatible, fine-grained mix of uses rather than a separation of uses in those diverse area. The building form is key intersection ranging from the compact massing of Exchange Street to the monumental Tyndallstone building near the legislation building, to the engaging variety of building and structure at the Forks. Urban design review is intended to reinforce the valued current building form, including enhanced pedestrian comfort. It's in yellow color. I present same parcel analysis that for a repeat sale, 8 of them, they showed that land sale increase per month 1.58%. Following with income expense Miller presented for us. It showed on page number 10, it's 9 stalls and they rent monthly $200. On page 19, it's the same land sale comparables. We already look into. So based on evidence in this report, it is assessor opinion that's land subject property land value $320,000, and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Sim.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. So if I could suggest this just to save us time, all of my questioning from the first property largely carries over. If we could, perhaps I should have mentioned that in the first one, but if we can keep those questions in mind rather than repeating.
That's fine.
Okay, great, thank you. So in looking at the subject property, so this is 0 Pioneer Avenue. So looking at your page numbers 2 and 3, the location of the property as shown here, this would also abut the CN rail line. Is that correct?
Correct. It's a good picture on page number 4. It's along the railway. Here, yeah, National Canadian Railway Company owned this property as well.
Okay, and then looking at page 3, there's no direct access to the subject property from Westbrook, correct?
Correct.
And if I look at the middle photo in page number 3, would it be roughly accurate to suggest that the property, I guess it would be the southern boundary of that property would be roughly in line with that telephone pole? Is that a fair guesstimate?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay. And all of the other factors are the same comparables are presented in the same modeling, etc.
Correct.
Okay, those are all of my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Anderson, any questions to the assessor?
I have no questions.
And Ms. Branson, any questions?
No questions, thank you.
We must also have this change. Would you like to proceed?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. So very similarly to the prior property that we were just dealing with, the subject property is actually owned by the CN Railway and is simply leased out to the appellant for their use as a surface parking lot for the adjacent baseball stadium for game days. Now, the subject property is similar in terms of location and orientation as the previous property. It's, to start with, it's only 3,700 square feet in size. There's no access to it from Pioneer. It can only be accessed through adjacent parking lots, which are, it's an entirely different matter. We're not dealing with aggregate properties here. This property is standalone. It abuts the CN Railway. There would be no market demand for development of this property as a standalone development parcel. It simply wouldn't be out there. So valuing it on the basis of direct comparison is incorrect. And as the city's model for all other surface parking lots indicates, these are income producing properties and are sold on that basis and should be valued accordingly. So let's look at it on that basis as the city's indicated on their cover page, and I do in my brief. There are a total of 9 parking stalls for the subject property. I've provided you with the same background with regard to the city's valuation model for parking lots on my pages 2 through 5, and the income and expense report for the subject property is shown on page number 6 and 7. So my last page, page number 9, shows you our market value for the property. So using the city's valuation model, we have 9 stalls using the same net rental rate of $92 per stall. Net of all expenses gives us the net operating income capped at 4.5%, gives us a market value of $221,000. Now, this is based on the modeling of the city. Now, if we go back and we look at the income and expense form, the actual NOI for the year in question is $8,093. So it's actually lower than the projected model that we're using here. We're sticking with the model. And this produces, again, the market value of $221,000. Equally, if we go back and we look at occupancy of the site, suggests that they're leasing them for $200 on a monthly rate, which, again, they're certainly not all occupied on a monthly basis. It is under the same restrictions as the other property we discussed. You use those figures, 9 stalls, $200 a month. We get a gross annual revenue at 100% occupancy of $21,600. The actual revenue is $15,911. That's 73% occupancy. I think our market value is very accurate and reflects the true value of the subject property. Again, the property is not owned by the appellant. They're simply the lessee, and at the end of their lease term, they turn it over. They don't have the ability to sell the property on the open market. It is an income-producing property, and it has essentially zero developable value as a standalone property. So that is my presentation, and I'm open for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Shable, did you have any questions of the applicant?
Yes, thank you. You would agree that market income for surface parking involved a lot of assumption, correct?
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to repeat the question.
Would you agree that market income estimation for surface parking involved a lot of assumptions?
Certainly, it does involve assumptions, and as I pointed out in the income and expense form, in this case, it's slightly high.
And model apply $92 per stall per month, and we can see that they rent $200 per month, correct?
So what the model, and let's look at it so that we're comparing apples to apples here. We look at the model description on my page 4. It states parking income. The net monthly incomes per stall for surface parking lots and parking structures are shown on the table below. These income rates are net of vacancy loss and operating expenses. So the $200 quoted rate, which they don't necessarily get, is what the gross figure would be, not the net figure. Their expenses would have to be deducted from that, as they are in the income and expense form on page number 6, coming down to a net operating income of $8,093.
Thank you. Would you agree that land value best estimation of surface parking or any land?
I would disagree with that statement.
Thank you. No further questions.
Ms. Branson, any questions to the applicant?
No questions. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Ms. Anderson, any questions?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith, I just have one question. So, how are these? How is this lot monitored in terms of money garnered from people parking?
Right. So on game day, and I'm only speaking from having been to a baseball game at the stadium. On game day, the entry to the lot, which is not direct, but the entry to the lot through the adjacent parking lot, there are attendants in place there that collect money for game day parking.
Okay. And on the day on non-game days, there are people parking there?
Again, as my colleague had indicated, they have restrictions on that, but I can't really speak to it further because I don't have the details. It's not, my knowledge, it's not rented out on a daily basis all the time, but again, I don't know what the restrictions are, so I don't want to be misleading there.
Even though you're stating that, I'm just going to ask, could it possibly be staff who are working at the stadium?
It could potentially be staff, but I don't know that for sure.
Right. Okay, and the access is via another parking lot, correct?
The access is via another parking lot.
Thank you. Do either of you have a wish for a summation on this property?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Mr. Smith?
No, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Then we will move on to item number 741 Westbrook.
File number 22-3307, roll number 120-938-00500. We are valuing the property as it stands of January 1st, 2023, based on the economic condition April 1st, 2021. This appeal is with respect to the amount of the assessed value only. Based on the evidence in this report, it is assessor opinion that the market value of subject property as of April 1st, 2021 is $3,176,000, and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. The subject property surface parking with land area of 37,221 square feet, has zoning multiple use. Subject property size, view on page number 2, it's a regular shape of site, more photo on page number 3. It's close to our previous, I guess, 0 Westbrook, 1 second. It's bordered with our previous case of 0 Westbrook Street. So the parking income estimation of 96,000 doesn't capture of land, but when you look on page number 4, we apply $92. But when you look on my comparables number 4, stabilized net operating income per stall per month range between $64 to $126 stabilized net stall per month. So my assessment depend on land value. If you look on page number 6, it's M multiple use section, blue. Our assessment of land value on page number 7, it's located neighborhood 171 Portridge and Main. Multiple use, assessed lot size 37,221 square feet. It's land influence bus road, medium traffic, rail line, and our total assessment per lot size $85.33 per square foot. I presented same land sale comparables, 6 of them on 161 South Portridge neighborhood, 65 Broadway Assiniboine neighborhood, 171 Portridge and Main neighborhood, it's Pioneer comparable number 4, similar with subject property neighborhood area, and they range between $95 per square foot to $142 per square foot. We assess only $85.34. On page number 8, I presented same parcel analysis show of 8 resale, showed that price of land increase average per month 1.85%, in median change per month 1.59%. On page 12, my land sale comparables, we already saw them. So based on evidence in my report, it is assessor opinion that the market value of subject property is $3,176,000 and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, questions have been accepted?
Just a couple of quick ones here. So, as noted on the cover page of your brief, the subject property is owned by the city of Winnipeg?
Correct.
And it's just leased out to the appellant, is that correct?
Correct.
And the subject property on Westbrook there, Westbrook is a one-way street at the point where the subject property is, correct?
Correct.
And you had said your land sale comparables are all the same as the ones that we'd already discussed in the first property here today?
Correct. Same downtown sales land sale comparables. It's not so many land sale in downtown. It's best what I found. Close to reference day and still in 2016-19. And our reference day 2021. So land value, land in downtown very valuable and rare for sale.
Okay, those are all of my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Anderson, questions?
I have no questions, thank you.
Ms. Branson?
No questions, thank you.
I just have one question, Ms. Shable. You've got on the, sorry, I'm just going to this. Page 1 of your brief. Got under actual and effective a year of 1951.
It's it just when this parking lot was organized. I don't look on this number, it's not building.
Okay, so, but is that stating that this parking lot has been there since 1951?
Yes, let's check. Notes. Our records, how far going back? Here. Our record. My information says 2004 happened. And in 2004 was established same area, 37,000. 37,245 square feet was changed to used by to good quality. So our record go inside 2004 back, I can see it. And usually it's land value.
Okay, so as far back as 2004, it's land value.
I can see back, yes.
Okay, I thank you. And that is all my questions. Mr. Smith, would you like to say?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. So subject property 41 Westbrook, certainly the subject has been a surface parking lot for as long as I can remember. It is located kind of across the street from where the Nutty Club warehouse is, which is located on the corner of, what is it, Westbrook and Pioneer, I believe it is. In any case, that's the location of the subject property. In this particular instance, the city of Winnipeg is the actual property owner for this particular property. So very similar to the prior two properties, it is leased to the appellant for surface parking lot, for use as a surface parking lot for the adjacent baseball stadium. And similarly, there are restrictions on the lease of the property, and this one identifies them a little bit more clearly, and it'll be clear when we look at the income and expense. So if we flip forward to my page number 9, you can see the income and expense form. So they're taking in a total of $90,790 in revenue, and they end up with a net operating income of $5,349. Essentially, they're simply supplying parking for the game day clientele to come to the baseball games. It's not a moneymaker. They're not generating revenue on this property. If you look again on that same sheet in the right-hand column, you can see that it indicates the number of stalls. So in this case, there are 96 stalls, and it's indicating that 46 of those stalls are considered annual and 50 of them seasonal. Now, and don't quote me on this again, but my recollection of discussion with my colleague is that the seasonal is directly tied to game day attendance. So they're simply providing parking so that people can show up to the baseball games and have a place to park. As you can see, the actual revenue that they produce is very, very minimal. So let's move back to subject property. Again, the appellant doesn't own the property, so they can't sell it. Another point I should have made on that basis for the prior two properties as well as this one is they also can't develop the property without the permission of the actual owner of the property and according to the lease document that they signed. So there is no development potential for this subject property by the appellant. It's simply providing a parking amenity for the adjacent parking, or rather baseball stadium. So my brief, page number 1 of it, gives you the location of the property. So again, it is immediately adjacent to that same CN Railway main rail line from Vancouver to Toronto, running through downtown Winnipeg there. That is the main line for CN Rail, and the parking lot is immediately adjacent to that. Our valuation, again, is based on the City of Winnipeg model, and again, in this case, it's significantly higher than what the actual subject produces. So my pages 2 through 5 are the City of Winnipeg model description. Pages numbers 6 and 7 are the income and expense for the subject property, again indicating a net income of $5,349. And our modeling for the subject property is shown on my page number 9. So we have a total of 96 stalls for the subject property. We have assigned the same model rate that the city has on their page number 4 of $92 net per stall. And this produces a net operating income of $105,984. Now, if you look at the income and expense form, they're actually generating $5,349 in the reference year. So again, it's simply an amenity so that people can come and park and come to the baseball games. And using, again, the model capitalization rate of 4.5% gives us a final market value of $2,355,000. So let's look at the components here again. The appellant doesn't actually own the property. They're simply the lessee. At the end of their term, they turn the property back over entirely to the property owner. They don't have the ability to sell the property for a profit on the market, as they're not the owner, nor do they have the ability to develop that property on the market. So you're essentially looking at City of Winnipeg land that is leased out simply for an amenity purpose here. So in looking at the valuation, the net revenue is well beyond what the actual property produces. So in my humble opinion, I believe we're actually probably significantly overestimating the value of the property for assessment purposes, but we will stick with the valuation model. And our final market value is $2,355,000. And that is my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Shable, questions to the applicant?
Thank you. No questions.
Thank you. Ms. Anderson, questions?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Francis?
No questions, thank you.
I just have a couple.
Just looking at your picture in your brief on
Page 1, I guess.
Yeah.
Better.
is the curving brown line the CN? I'm just wondering
It
where the
is.
CN rail line is. It is right there.
The curving line is the CN rail line, yes.
Okay.
And the property that we dealt with first is immediately adjacent to this property on kind of that top right corner.
So this is the parking lot, and you have to go through to get to that other.
No, that one, sorry, that was the second property. This would be the one I was referring to, was the very first property.
I see. Yeah.
The
Okay.
22 stalls, I believe it was.
All right. Thank you for that. Okay, you mentioned the stalls. There's a total of 96. And I'm sorry, how many were seasonal?
When I look at their income and expense on my page number 6, so it's indicating that 50 of them are seasonal, so devoted strictly to the game day, I believe, and then 46 are indicated as annual. I would also note, I guess, that the monthly rate that they're indicating is quite a bit lower at $131 per month.
So I'm assuming then, because baseball season runs from May to September, May to October, that the rest of the time, these lots are being rented out.
They're available to be rented out, I believe, yes. Yeah.
Are you suggesting there's a vacancy?
Well, when I look at the revenue that they produce on this, so, and again, looking at page number 6, they have $90,790 in gross revenue with a total of 96 stalls. And then a net income of $5,300. It seems like it's very lightly used. So again, I don't have the details with regard to restrictions, but it appears that there's very significant vacancy there for whatever reason.
Thank you. That's all my questions. Ms. Schabel and Mr. Smith, do you have any desired destination in this property?
No, thank you.
No, thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, everyone, for your patience.
Thank you.
And we will proceed to our last property on the docket, which is item number 9 at 17 Gary Street. If you'd like to come forward.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Please state your full name
Les Sitkowski.
and you affirm the evidence you present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sitowski. Ms. Schabel, if you would like to start us off on your brief.
Madam Chairperson,
Oh, yes.
would you mind if Mr. Smith sits in with me? Because he's pretty familiar with this one.
Yes. Mr. Smith, you are still on your own.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Ms. Schabel, if you'd like to lead us off on this property, please. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry about it. File number 22-3574. Roll number 120-93194-000. Address is 170 Gary Street. We are valuing the property as it stands of January 1st, 2023, based on the economic condition April 1st, 2021. This appeal is with respect to the amount of the assessed value only. Based on the evidence in this report, it is assessor opinion that the market value of subject property as of April 1st, 2021 is $1,188,000, and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. The subject property is surface parking with land area of 12,122 square feet. The subject property site area on page number 2, rectangle shape of land, more photo following. On page number 3, it's located facing Gary Street. Street view on page number 3 on bottom. Parking lot income estimation doesn't capture land value, so we will proceed to the subject property land valuation. The subject property is land lot size 12,122 square feet, located in zoning M, multiple use. Land influences medium traffic. In total assessment per lot per size, $98 per square foot. Zoning on previous page, on page number 6, red dot on blue color, it's a subject property. Multi-use sector shows the intent to encourage the range of users, sites, activities in building typical to diverse and vibrant central business district. The built form is also diverse, ranging from high-rise tower at Portridge in May to more intimately scaled building along Graham Avenue. Urban design review is intended to enhance pedestrian comfort and encourage high-quality building form. We come back to my page number 7. We did assess total assessment per lot size, $19 per square foot. My six comparables below, land sale comparable, showed range between $94.96 to $142.28. We can following look on my comparables on page 17, 18, and 19. Should I go more deeper? It's same set comparables from downtown sale land.
Yes, that's fine, Ms. Shable, we've heard it.
Okay,
That's fine.
we're going back to my page number 7. On page number 8, I showed same per sale analysis, all repeat sale, 8 resale in downtown commercial zoning, and showed that average percentage change per month 1.85% and media percentage change per month 1.59%. It shows that each month price of land going up. So based off my evidence, our assessed value of subject property as of April 1st, 2021 is $1,188,000, and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. Mr. Satowski?
Thank you so much, Madam Chairperson. Ms. Scheibel, have you had a chance to inspect the property? Did you drive by, or at least drive by the property?
You can see parking view, street view on page number 3.
So all you have is just a picture of the property, but you haven't had a chance to drive by.
I walk by this property. I often walk in downtown.
So if you walk by this property, you would have noticed that it's very cramped property and access to this property is from the back lane only. Is that correct?
That's why I assess this property like land value. It's a good piece of land of 12,122 square feet in downtown between Carlton, St. Mary, and Smith Street. It's very valuable piece of land.
But currently it's used as a parking lot.
Correct.
Correct. And should it not be assessed? It is a viable business and it produces income. And should it not be assessed as income producing property?
It's a market income, what doesn't capture land value. That's why assessment default to land value only.
So, all right. And you arrived at you use, I guess it's model driven, right? The value of, you arrive at an initial value of $883,000, which is model driven. Is that correct?
Correct. On page number 7, it is piece of land of 12,122 square feet at $98 per square foot.
So you're using
It's
that.
model driven, yes, correct.
And on page 4, I see that the rate or the rent that this particular property produces is $63.93 per stall per month. It's number 1.
I'm sorry, could you repeat your question?
So the 170 Gary Street, the rent that it produces per stall is $63.93 per square foot?
It's a stabilized net operating income per stall per month. And it's first comparables, it shows monthly $210 and casual $14 per square per stall.
Well,
and they showed on this comparable plot report rental rate showed 39 stalls, and our report on 36. We need to look into and count again.
All right. So I don't want to belabor this too much. These issues too much, because all this has been said in the past. And Mr. Smith had actually raised many of these issues and concerns. And my issue is that since this is a property that is generating income, should be based on income approach to value. Again, I just wanted to.
It's valued by a piece of land in downtown, over 12,000 square feet. How I defend this property?
And those are my questions. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Ms. Anderson, any questions of the assessor?
I have no questions, thank you.
Sorry?
Thank you. Ms. Branson, any questions of the assessor?
No questions, thank you.
Okay, I just have one question, Ms. Schabel. You have on your brief on page 4, you've got 36 stalls, correct?
Correct.
And then right below that, your comparable properties for 170 Gary, item number 3.
Yes, they reported in 2020, it's reported rental rate for surface parking. They reported 39 stall count.
It says, 59.
39.
Okay. Under the stall count for 170 Gary, it says 59. Am I looking at the wrong line?
It's sorry. I'm looking on the wrong place. 170 Gary Street. It will be reported line number 3. They reported 39 stalls. It's Gary Street, number 3 index, 59 stalls, and their stabilized net operating income per stall per month, $126.96. Model pickup $92. That's why it's default to land. It's not supported by market income of surface parking piece of land value.
I'm just talking in regards to the stall count. You have on your model driven that it's 36, and then right below it, it says 59. So I'm just wondering why.
We can ask question of agent to confirm right number.
Okay, so you cannot explain the difference.
No.
Correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Ms. Chairperson, would you mind if I try to answer?
Actually, if you could just say, that would be fine.
Thank you, Candy.
And again, you've got an actual year here, Ms. Shable, of 2001.
Yes, it's just artificial years actual build. You can ignore this number. Sometimes since 4999.
Okay, so you want that number ignored.
Correct.
All right, thank you. That's all my questions. If you would like to proceed with your brief, Mr. Satowski, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. First of all, I'd like to start off by saying that I'd like everybody to disregard page 2 of my brief. That's an error. Actually, what happened in this instance was that we used this format a couple of years ago for 2020, and I just found out that was an error. So please disregard that. What we're actually wanting to do is to confirm the assessment of $883,000. I'd like the board to confirm the assessment of $883,000 based on page 4 of the assessor's brief, the income workup, because we as we know that this is an income producing property. And then just further to your question of how many stalls there are, I was at this property maybe half a week ago, less than a week ago, and I found it very difficult to count the parking stalls because the cars park at an angle. There are some stalls that don't have adequate length. I counted close to 40 parking stalls. I thought there were close to 40, but then I realized that some of them weren't the required. They didn't have the required length for a car to park. So I believe that we're very close to 36 parking lots. We might be the assessor might be out by 1 or 2 parking lots, but I would like to confirm that there are around 36, maybe 40, but they don't have the length, as you said, and well, an automobile, a regular length automobile will not be able to park in that particular lot, or in that stall. And as I said, those stalls are situated at an angle. So, and if you take a look at the pictures, oh, please, would you mind, Mr. Smith?
Okay, thank you. So this was the one part that I was going to provide background on, I guess. So I worked for a firm in the adjacent building at 260 St. Mary, fronts on St. Mary. This is part of the parking for that particular 3-story office building. And the parking is devoted strictly to that office building. It's not, there's after hours parking after work hours, which they get very minimal parking revenue from. But the during the day, parking is specifically devoted to the tenants of that building, and it's signed into the leases for the tenants that are in 260 St. Mary. So if you were to look at this subject property as a development site, if you were to develop the property, or if the owner were to develop the property, they would have taken away nearly all of the parking for their office building, and they'd be they would have gone against their leases, and they would lose their tenants and not get new ones. Essentially, without parking, you don't get tenants, and that is the reason it's built into the leases for the property itself. So our office was in that 260 St. Mary building. I parked in the lot. My office overlooked it. You come in off of the back lane from either St. Mary on the front or York on the south, and access it from the rear laneway. There's no direct access from Gary Street. The lot itself is divided by a fence in the middle, and it's angle parking on both sides. First of all, it's gravel surface. The surface is usually not great given our climate, and the parking is angled on both sides as you move forward. So it's very cramped, and if you look at, and I can't I can't tell you that I've gone there and counted the stalls, but I know for a fact there's not 59. If you look at the aerial of it and walk through the lot, it's not a possibility that you could have 59 stalls there, even with angle parking on both sides of the fence. So it's very tight, and I would emphasize the fact that it's not a developable parcel because it is strictly devoted to the parking needs of the office tenants in 260 St. Mary. They're inseparable.
But, excuse me, but I think Mr. Satowski said that he wants to confirm the value.
No, no, not the 1.88 million. I'd like to confirm the value of $883,000 based.
So you're changing your value.
As I mentioned to you, we did that in error.
Okay. Using the word confirm, I thought you.
No, I would like to confirm the value that, or
the model value.
Model value, yes, is worth.
All right, thank you. Ms. Shable, did you have questions?
No, thank you.
And Ms. Anderson, did you have questions of the applicant?
I do. One question. In regards to the limitation on development of this property, you indicated that it was tied to the property on St. Mary's, the office tower. So is there a formal agreement that's registered on title that indicates that it's tied?
Yes, so the lease documents signed with each of the tenants provide them with a certain number of stalls devoted to their use, and so the parking is inextricably linked to the office building. For that reason, you can't separate them. Again, if let's say you treat it as a development parcel and you build whatever you build on that property, your office building then goes vacant because you can't provide parking to the tenants that require it to occupy that space. So that's the detail.
Thank you. That's all my questions. Thank you very much.
Ms. Branson, questions?
Just one question. I see in the assessor's report, there's an indication that there was a 2018 sale, and I possibly should have asked Madam Assessor that as well, but I see it's indicated as for consideration of $1, but the sworn value is $579,000 in 2018. Do you have any information on that?
We don't pay it in consideration when it's $1 sale. It's showed that it's not arm length, not on open market.
And perhaps the applicant can answer as well. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so the prior owners of the property did sell it at arm's length, and the sworn value was $579,000. It was a trade between non-related parties on the market, and it formed part of the purchase of 260 St. Mary with this parking lot.
Thank you. That's my only question.
Thank you. I just want to confirm your question again. You're asking for $80,000.
Well, we're asking for the value of $883,000, which is based on the workup done by the department on page 4, using $92 per stall, and with 36 stalls, and using a cap rate of 4.5%.
That is all my questions. Does either party have a wish for a summation?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. I thank you both for your time, and this hearing, all the items have been heard on the docket, and this hearing is now adjourned. I thank everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you again, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.